everyone. Welcome to Module 2, Lesson 2. Today, we're going to be talking about counting time on a number line, just like we would be counting around the clock. Speaking of time, it is time for your group counting. Let's count by 7s to 35. Ready? Wiggle it out. Bring it close. Let's count by 7s to 35 and go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Bring it down. 35, 28, 21, 14, 7, and 0. Let's keep going. Let's count by 8s to 40. Let's wiggle those 7s off your hands. Bring it close. Count by 8s to 40 and go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Bring it down. 40, 32, 24, 8, 16, 8, 0. Now, let's start at 12 and count by 5 minutes on the clock. Ready? Let's go. 2 o'clock, 2:05, 2:10, 2:15, 2:20, 2:25, 2:30, 2:35, 2:40, 2:45, 2:50, 2:55. Next would be 3 o'clock. Now, I'll show you a time on the clock. Write the time on your board. As you are viewing the video, click pause to allow yourself time to write. Write the time on your board. Now, show me. What time is it? It is 3:05. Write the time on your board. Remember to pause the video to give yourself time to gather your materials and write. Now, show me. What time is it? It is 2:35. Write the time on your board. Now, show me. What time is it? 1:15. How many minutes are in a half hour? 30 minutes. Let's count by 6 minutes to a half hour. Ready? Let's go. 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 18 minutes, 24 minutes, half hour. How many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes. Let's continue counting by 6 minutes to an hour. 36 minutes, 42 minutes, 48 minutes, 54 minutes, 1 hour. How many minutes are in a quarter of an hour? 15 minutes. We call it a quarter because quarter is like saying 4, and there are 4 15 minutes in an hour. Let's count by 3 minutes to a quarter past the hour. 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, or a quarter past. How many minutes are in a half hour? 30 minutes. Let's continue counting by 3 minutes to a half hour. 18 minutes, 21 minutes, 24 minutes, 27 minutes, 30 minutes, or a half hour. Let's continue. This time we are going to count by 10 minutes to 1 hour. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, or 1 hour. This time we are going to count by 9 minutes to 45 minutes. 9 minutes, 18 minutes, 27 minutes, 36 minutes, 45 minutes. Great job. Let's switch to our application problem. Christine has 12 math problems for homework. It takes her 5 minutes to complete each problem. How many minutes does it take Christine to finish all 12 problems? Let's do this together. Ask yourself, what do we know and what is the question? We know that there are 12 groups and 5 minutes is the size of each group. What we don't know is the total. Let's draw a tape diagram to help us. In this tape diagram, we see 12 groups of 5, and we have an unknown labeled. Take a moment, pause the video, and write this down. Next, we're going to take that tape diagram and write a number sentence to solve. 12 groups of 5. What number sentence would match 12 groups of 5? 12 times 5 equals 60. Now, let's write a word sentence to answer the question. It takes Christine 60 minutes to finish all 12 problems. A different way to model the application problem is to use a number line. We're going to divide the tape diagram into 12 equal parts like we did before. Notice that each part has 5 in each. The tape diagram represents 60 minutes. A different way to model this problem, besides the tape diagram, is to use a number line. Let's use our tape diagrams to help us draw a number line that represents a total of 60 minutes. Draw a line a few centimeters below the tape diagram and make it the same length as the tape diagram. You may use the rulers that were sent home, or you may eyeball it. But take a moment to pause the video if you need a moment to draw the tape diagram and the number line. Now, let's make tick marks on the number line where units are divided into the tape diagram. What do you notice about the tape diagram and the number line? We can notice that the lines are in the same place. They have the same number of parts. What part of the tape diagram do the spaces between tick marks represent? The units, the time it takes to do each math problem. They each represent 5 minutes. We know from yesterday that time doesn't stop. It is continuous. It was happening before Christine started her homework, and it keeps going after she finished. To show that time is continuous, we'll extend our number line on both sides and add arrows to it. Let's label our number line. The space between the two tick marks represents a 5-minute interval. Let's write 0 under the first tick on the left, then skip count by 5s. As you count, write each number under the next tick mark. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Stop when you've labeled 60. Remember, you can always pause the video to give yourself some writing time. The space between two marks represents one 5-minute interval. How many minutes are in the interval from 0 to 10? 10 minutes. What about from 0 to 60? 60 minutes. From 15 to 30? 15 minutes. Now, let's practice some more problems with Christine's application problem. Let's use the number line to find out how many minutes it takes Christine to do 4 math problems. Place your finger at 0, move to 5, 10, 15, and 20. And as you count, think of it as 1 problem, 2 problems, 3 problems, 4 problems. That means it takes Christine 20 minutes to do 4 math problems. How can we use the word interval to explain to someone in our household how you use the number line to figure that out? Let's use the number line to find out how many minutes it takes Christine to do 7 math problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It takes Christine 35 minutes to do 7 math problems. That's because we counted 7 times, and we landed at 35 minutes. Now, let's use the number line to find out how many minutes it takes Christine to do 9 math problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It takes Christine 45 minutes to do 9 math problems. Let's use the number line to find out how many minutes it takes Christine to do 11 math problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many minutes does it take? It takes 55 minutes to do 11 math problems. Great job! Now, we can use our ruler to draw a 12-centimeter number line. You make sure you have your ruler on the centimeter side, and then on your piece of paper or whiteboard, draw a 12-centimeter number line. Marking 12 equally spaced intervals is difficult. How can the ruler help us? Well, it has 12 centimeters. The centimeters show us where we can draw the tick marks. Use the centimeters on your ruler to draw the tick marks for the number line. See how mine line up? Just like on the first number line, we need to show that time is continuous. Let's extend each side of your number line and make arrows. Then skip count to label each 5-minute interval, starting with 0 and ending at 60. I'm just waiting for my numbers to drop. Again, this takes a lot of work. Pause the video if you need some writing time. There are 60 minutes between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Let's use this number line to model exactly where we will be doing the activities on our schedule between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Below the 0 tick mark, write 1 p.m. Below the 60 tick mark, write 2 p.m., just like you see above. Let's imagine we start recess at 1:10. Is that time between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock? Yes, it is. So to find that spot on the number line, I'll put my finger on 1 o'clock and move it to the right as I skip count intervals until I reach 1:10. Remind me, what are we counting by? 5s. So 1:05, 1:10. I'll draw a dot on the spot where the tick mark and number line mark a T and label it R for recess. The dot shows the location of a point. Finding and drawing a point is called plotting a position on the number line. At 1:35, we'll start science. This is not quite our current schedule, but let's imagine. Is 1:35 between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock p.m.? Yes, it is. So let's plot 1:35 p.m. as a point on the number line. Label it C. I find 35 minutes on my number line, and then I plot my C point. Now let's plot 1:45 as a point on our number line. Label it L. Plot 2 p.m. as a point on your number line. Label it W. Can we plot 2:05 or 12:55 on this number line? Now how does this number line you've labeled compare to the analog clock on the wall? The minutes count by 5s on both of them. The clock is like the number line wrapped in a circle. So we use this number line for time because we're imagining breaking the circle of the clock apart into one straight line. This will make it easier to find how much time happened between times. We counted by 5s to plot the numbers on a number line, and we'll do the same on a clock. How many 5-minute intervals show 15 minutes on a clock? 3 intervals, 3 5s show 15. We started at 0 on the number line, but a clock has no 0. Where is the starting point on a clock? The 12. Let's count each 5-minute interval and plot a point on the clock to show 15 minutes. The minute hand is pointing at the 3, which is 15 minutes. I put that point on the number line as well. Now let's show 30 minutes. Now the minute hand is pointing at the 6. 5 6s is the same as 30. On my number line, you see that I plotted a point on 30. Let's count and plot a point on the clock to show 45 minutes. Now you see 2 plots on my number line, and you also see the minute hand now pointing at 45 minutes or the 9. Now let's show 55 minutes. Now let's think. Don't forget to, if I want to show 10:20, you need to draw both the minute hand and the hour hand. 20 minutes have passed, 5, 10, 15, 20, and because it's 10:20, that's between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I'll put 10 and 11 on my number line. Then I'll mark 20 to show 20 minutes have passed on the clock. Let's look at the next clock. This one shows 9:15. 9:15 is 15 minutes past 9. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, and then label my number line that to show 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. That's because 9:15 is between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Then I can plot my point of how many minutes have passed. Let's do this one more time. The time says 3:30. 30 minutes have passed. That's about half of our clock. So I'm going to label my number line 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock because 3:30 is between 3 and 4 o'clock. Next, I can plot the point 30 minutes on my number line. One last time, 7:50. 7:50 is 50 minutes, and that's most of my clock. It stops at the 10. 5 times 10 equals 50. I can label this between 7 and 8 o'clock because 7:50 is between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Then I'll plot my point. And it's your turn now. On Google Slides, you'll have the opportunity to work on several problems that have you practicing labeling a number line involving time. Take your time and work hard on it for 15 minutes. Now it's time for your exit ticket. Go on Edulastic either through Google Classroom, the Daily Post, or Clever. Take time to thoughtfully answer your questions on your exit ticket. That's that for today. See you all tomorrow. Bye now.